Oh.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. How are you fellas this evening?
So we're doing pretty all right.
Yeah, pretty all right. Pretty much covers it.
That's fair.
How are you?
I'm okay. A little busy this October, but that's a good thing, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody, you guys can hear me okay, right? You guys sound a little low.
Are we low?
Are we low?
I don't know.
Hold on. Are we low?
So, I don't have my, hold on a second. I don't have my mouse here. Hi, Zhang from, she's from Indonesia. So you guys are being looked at or watched in. Hi, Kevin.
We've gone global.
Yeah. I'm sorry we're not better looking.
He said no.
Okay. I think
All
Kevin
right.
knows we sound fantastic.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're in rare form then.
Yes. Anyway, so we'll try to get serious.
All right. So I've had you on, Tim, what, 5 times now?
It's been a few. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the first time that you've had a partner in crime with you.
It is. It's the first time I can get him out of the house.
Which Todd, Todd, I've watched some of Tim's stuff and been a part of some of the stuff, and you guys are hilarious together.
Thank you.
The whole eating contest thing is just insane.
He won't do it anymore.
Yeah, I retired. I got sick too many times, and my stomach can't handle it anymore.
There's parts of me like, how have they not ended up in the hospital with some of the stuff that you would eat and put together? I was just like, no.
Like the first time was the worst, where we weren't even eating people food. We were eating like dog. Well, by we I mean me. I was eating like dog food and cat food, and I was sick for like 3 days.
So the moral of the story is win.
Yeah, I'll win. I should have cried harder.
Yeah.
I swear. You're like, do you guys watch Impractical Jokers?
I used to.
So Todd, you're like, what's his face? The guy that does everything and doesn't say no to nothing.
My Joe?
Well, yes. You're Joe? Like Joe, right?
Yeah, Joe quit.
Yeah,
just like you quit.
Joe quit.
Yeah.
Just like, so yeah. Perfect analogy.
Yeah. Quitter.
Yeah.
I just found out prior to coming on that Tim hates Halloween. That's awesome.
I do. I cannot stand it.
I was going to say yes when he proposed, but I mean, like, I celebrate Halloween September 1st to November 1st.
Yeah, we've all got our faults, and now we found yours. So,
like, hardcore celebrate Halloween.
No, I don't think I hated Halloween until I was in the paranormal field.
Really?
That's and then everybody and their brother is like, "Oh, you look for ghosts. You must really love Halloween." No, the two don't go hand in hand. And I used to get like endless emails in the month of October asking if they could join us on investigations, and I think that's where I really got burnt out, and then I was kind of done with it. Plus, I don't like children. And
I didn't want to bring it up.
And if you can't buy
I'm with you on that.
If you can't buy a $10 bag of candy for your kid and not have the little booger bandit come to my front door looking for candy, then I can't help you.
He's like the Grinch of Halloween.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. Booger bandits.
Booger bandits.
So the truth comes out now. So all right. Let's start somewhere. I was gonna make a bad joke, but I'm not gonna.
It's okay.
It's par for the course. Why not?
Yeah.
So now I'm just going to switch subjects really quick.
Segue time.
Nailed it.
So Tim, you can, I guess, say whatever you want to say is to about Pawtographs for Pooches. I am wearing Murray's Paw, which I wear this sweatshirt quite often. This is like my favorite sweatshirt. It's so comfortable, and if you're like, girls love sweatshirts like this. So just take my word for it. If you're a female, you're watching, buy one of these sweatshirts because you will love it.
Buy 5.
Yeah. If you're a female and you're watching, give me all of your monies. Let's see. Okay, so I'll get serious, I guess, for a minute. If I could be serious for a minute.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Okay, so I guess we'll start with what do I want to go all the way back?
I mean, yeah, because I do. Todd's been around from the beginning, correct? I mean, like, even
Todd.
Did you know Murray?
Todd was not around for the suicide attempt.
Okay.
No, that was
so. Yeah, that was. I got asked that question last week during an interview. You know, why didn't you talk to Todd? And I'm like, I didn't know him for one. We became friends mid 2007, right?
I'd say, yeah, that's fair.
Somewhere about there.
Yeah.
We worked together. When were you deployed?
2005 to 2006. So I came back at the end, I think December of 2006.
Yeah. So we worked together and stuff, and really had not, had much of a rapport at that time, and gradually we found our love of our common interest. Yeah, common interest was wrestling, and that's how the friendship started.
Well, you know what, you guys are. It's almost like you guys are brothers. That's the feeling you guys give off, right? Like, so my question was just going to be like, from Todd looking outside in as a friend or a brother, like at that time. That's why I was asking if he was around, like when all that stuff happened.
He came in shortly after, as far as friendship and stuff. And I would classify as, I consider him a brother.
Yeah, that's definitely
like, I don't have any like blood brothers and sisters, but I got a few that I consider family, and he's definitely one of them. But early 2000, late 2006, I moved in here, and I've had these ugly ass curtains for the last 12 years, I think. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you spit.
Almost.
Yeah. So
my brain was going right into the gutter.
Move
That's
on.
where mine lives. Anyway, so if any female wants to move in and replace these curtains, that's your first job. But
that's your first job. You are not. You're batting like -25 at this point.
Yeah, it's okay. The goal is to stay alone, and I'm doing well.
Feeling it.
But okay, so late 2006, I moved into this home, and it was a real dark place. It was a real dark place in my life at that moment. I just come out of a relationship. I had bought this home. I was supposed to be living here with her and her son, and that didn't happen because she went and got herself pregnant from a friend of mine.
Oh.
So whores. Anyway.
Yes.
I gotta laugh at it now because life is so much better now than it would have been if we would have stayed together. But at the moment, I didn't think so, and I kind of thought life was over. And here I am in this house, and within like the first week, I've got voices and footsteps and bangs on the wall and arguments in my closet upstairs. And I was 31 years old and never had dealt with the paranormal, so this is all brand new to me. Called my mom. My mom famously said, "Go see what it is." And I said a few words, and I'm not going to repeat on your show because I respect you. But that kind of started it all. And, the part of the paranormal, at least. It's weird because eventually I contacted 4 teams in our area after stumbling across Ghost Hunters through a wrestling show on Sci-Fi. And I contacted 4 teams in the area, and none of them got back to me. And so that was disappointing, but it forced me to educate myself. And then a few weeks later, a little guy named Murray came into my life.
Can you tell that story really quick because I love it?
Went to I wanted a dog so bad, and I always lived in apartments and I couldn't get one. So I looked for a dog the first thing, and was online on this thing called the internet. You should look at it. You should check it out.
Never heard of it.
The more I joke, the less I'm going to try. So that's the plan.
That's the idea.
Anyway, I looked for a yellow lab, and I came across a yellow lab pit bull mix that had been beaten so badly that the shelter had actually gone into the home and taken him. So I asked if I could go see him. They told me that it wasn't a good idea because he didn't like men. I persisted. I famously told them that I was no normal man. And eventually I think they just let me come and see him just to shut me up. And I remember sitting in a room, and they walked down to the end of a hall of kennels, and they let him out, and he went the wrong way. And like, if you ever met Murray, like, that's what he did. He did things wrong the first time. But they turned him around, and this little puppy who shouldn't want anything to do with me came running to me and jumped into my arms. And
so crazy.
That was pretty much it. I mean, they made me wait forever to finalize the adoption. I think he came home 2 weeks later. And instantly he was seeing the things that I was hearing. He was following everything around the house. And the first time in a long time, I felt seen. And it got him home. Noticed some of his quirks. He didn't like doorways. He didn't like plastic bags. And the entire time I kept thinking to myself, what happened to him?
Right.
And, eventually, the depression and the anxiety and everything got a hold of me in early 2007. And that's Ray, if you can hear her. She doesn't like being in the kennel.
Hi, Ray.
That's not going to help.
Not going to help at all.
Why is she? Let her out.
No, because she'd be right here the whole time.
So what?
So Murray, that Murray guy.
Yep.
Early 2007, everything kind of, I guess, fell down in my life, and kind of, the dark place took over. And I don't remember the day, and I think that's my brain probably protecting myself. But I remember being in the bathroom and going through friends and family one by one, and kind of coming up with an excuse as to why it'd be okay if I wasn't here.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of crying involved. My brain I was not in control of my brain. There was no rational thought. And as I'm going through all of this, I get this feeling on my arm, and I look down, and Murray had placed his chin on my arm, and he was looking up at me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what snapped me out of it. And I crumpled to the floor, and I held him, and I credit him for saving my life. And everything that I've been able to accomplish since then, I firmly believe is him.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be here otherwise. And how do you say thank you over and over to somebody who saves your life? So eventually started a paranormal team, Fox City's paranormal team. And we got that one big case in 2010. We worked on it for 2 years, and we started to get some attention within the paranormal field, and we ended up on Paranormal Witness. And then the offers started coming in to speak at events, and I thought to myself, okay, they're going to give me a table, they're going to give me a place to sell things, and I don't have anything. And what can we do with that spot to do some good? And that's kind of how Pawtographs for Pooches ended up being a thing. It was a real simple idea. I asked my ex-wife to take pictures of Murray and I, and we got a stamp of his paw made, and he would photograph the pictures, and then I would personalize them at events, and we'd sell them for $10. And the first event we did, we raised $10, and it was a humbling beginning. And I really want that picture back, Katie Kintner. She was the one that bought it. And
oh yeah, that was the first,
yeah,
and only picture from the first time.
Yes, and so I mean, it would grow over time. And I remember the first time we raised $100, and it was like, holy cow, this is amazing.
We made it.
Yeah. And then we would raise a few $100s, and John Cassidy was the one that kind of pushed me to do exclusive events, where all of the ticket sales would go to the shelter. And the first one we did, we raised about $750.
So amazing.
And I thought, wow, this is pretty incredible. And I looked in my memories a couple of weeks ago, and we raised $27,000 up until the point Murray passed away. Which, looking back at it, I mean, was pretty amazing at the time. But in September, we went over $100,000 total. That's
so awesome.
So the majority of what we've raised has been actually after Murray's been gone, and it's kind of bittersweet because I think I wish he could have been around for more of this and watched it actually take off. And I know he's still around, and I know all that, but it doesn't replace him actually being here. So
yeah. For sure.
We've been able to do some amazing things. I'm just the human that gets to tell Murray's story, and this guy comes along with me to events now, and he cries in front of people.
I'm crying. You always make me cry. Every show I cry.
And it's I'll say this, before I go back into joke mode. If you ever get a chance to go to a Pawtographs event, it's unlike any other paranormal event. I'm not knocking paranormal events. No. I mean, they're fantastic. Mm-hmm. They're great. But a Pawtographs event, everybody is there for one reason. There's one goal. That's how much money are we going to raise for this shelter?
Yeah.
And I mean, the case in point was our event in Ripon, when I announced between our last speaker, the last break we had, that we were $500 short of $100,000. Mm-hmm. And Dinah Good, a good friend of mine, no pun intended, from Michigan, grabbed a bucket from the bar and walked around and raised $320 in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Wow.
And it got us to within $180 of going over. And then people just lined up to buy sweatshirts until we were over.
Yep.
And that doesn't happen at a normal event.
Never.
You tell people, hey, we're close to this milestone, and once we get to the milestone, we are going to celebrate. And I did an interview last week where I was like, it hasn't really hit me yet. I haven't had my breakdown. I had my breakdown last Friday. It was 3 years since Murray passed away, and just kind of reflected and held his urn and just cried like a baby, and just so incredibly proud of him.
Yeah.
He's still pulling the strings. We're the puppets. And he's
well,
pulling.
Isn't it ironic how close to his angelversary it was that you actually hit the goal,
within a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. And we got so many things planned for 2023, but I want to give this guy a chance to talk, because he doesn't get a chance to talk very often, and I don't want to
the way it happened, like if you did hit 100 before, no, I'm saying this wrong. I think that when you hit the 100 before and then it was his angelversary, it's almost like signifies that, I'm seeing this too, just like I saw us hit the 27,000. It's like I'm seeing this one too.
Yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, the numbers since his passing have been just astronomical. I mean, there was a time when raising $5,400 in an event was,
excuse me.
The events that we've raised a lot of money, we both used our corporate match.
Yeah.
And it's been $2,500 each. So, $13,000 is still incredible. But, $5,000 of that is corporate. So you think about it that way. I mean, Ripon came through in a big way with $5,484. Yeah. It's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Now, the bigger you get, though, I mean, like, are you taking this money that you're raising and are there a couple of shelters or animal shelters, or is it just one? Is it
every event that we do, we pick a shelter in the area?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that
they get a certain amount, like there's a certain amount of the money that they get.
Oh, they get all of it. We don't. I have lost so much money running Pawtographs for Pooches. Every cent that we raise is donated to the shelter.
So if I worked at a shelter, or I knew someone that worked at a shelter, and you're in it's in Michigan.
I'm in Wisconsin.
You're in Wisconsin. I know, but the event's in Michigan, right?
Next year's, in March.
So this is what I'm saying. So like if somebody, if a New Jersey shelter wanted Pawtographs to come help raise money for their shelter. Is that an option for people?
It's an option. My 2023 is pretty much booked, which is
an amazing thing.
Which is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll go anywhere that people bring me in. I should mention that, we still do take out the fees and stuff. I mean,
well, you have to, right?
There's fees associated with bringing in people from TV. There's hotel, there's flights, there's appearance fees, stuff like that.
And that's hard for.
We take that all out, but everything after that is the shelters. We don't get any, and I wouldn't want to. I'd feel pretty damn sleazy if I was taking any of Murray's money.
Yeah, and it's hard for when they depend on at least someone wants me there. Thanks, Kevin.
Well, you're on the poster, so I think that makes you committed.
Well, somebody said to me a while back that, it's really not that important now.
I said we were over $100,000, so we've reached that milestone.
Yeah, so there's really no more goals.
Yeah, there's no goals.
No, it's just extra.
Like somebody told me that, well, the next goal is 200,000. I'm like, I can't even think like that.
No, that's
that is so far away. Like, I don't even know if I'm alive that long. So
that's not true. I think you're going to get there pretty quick.
Yeah, we'll see.
I do. I really do. I think so. So Todd.
Yes.
So how did you two find each other? Did you become a part of his group, or did you guys just met?
Match.com.
It was actually Farmers Only.
I think I walked right into that.
You sure did.
Yeah.
Nailed it. No, like Tim said, Tim and I work together, and that's kind of how we hit it off, if you will. But as far as the paranormal, I actually thought about the teams the same way Tim did. I watched the exact same wrestling show he did. I saw the same commercials. And as luck would have it, my ex-wife at the time was actually watching those shows. So I would sit down with her and we'd watch them. So one good thing,
she was good for
came from that marriage. Yeah. So no loss there. But the interview process. Tim came up to me at work one day and he's like, "So, you ever seen those paranormal shows?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're pretty cool." He goes, "You want to try that?" And I went, "Okay." And that's literally how I got on the team. Like, that was the interview process back in the day for the Fox Cities Paranormal team.
And the other two guys that I started the team with are no more.
Yep.
So it was the two of us, and we got rid of them fairly. Actually, I got rid of them because I deep down I'm kind of a dick.
You say this all the time. You say that you're not a nice team, or you're not a nice I don't know, director. What do you call yourself? The owner?
I'm very difficult to work for. We'll put it that way.
That's fair.
I'm controlling, and I expect a lot out of us because the families that we're helping, they expect a lot out of us.
Yeah, Tim. I think Tim and I are so like-minded in that aspect. If we weren't, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like I don't want to make it sound like being on the team is this horrible thing, but there are expectations.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're going to meet with a client tonight after this interview, an initial interview, and we got to go into that and have their best interests at heart, and
absolutely,
and do what we can to help solve that situation. And being that we do residential investigations for the most part, there's a lot of pressure involved in that, and. So I don't think there's a lot of room to, don't get me wrong. We get along very well. The team jokes with each other. Most of us are like family. But when it's time to work, it's time to work.
Yeah.
And that's what I expect.
Yeah. And when there's like-minded people together, you're, the ones that aren't, headed in this or in this for the same reasons or the right reasons or whatever you want to call it, they eventually weed themselves out anyway. Yeah. And you end up with the people that you really trust, so it's a good thing.
Yep. And we've also realized, some people, they get into this thinking it's going to be great. And then it's not.
Then they realize
they don't realize it's not what you see on TV.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of work that goes into this, the research.
especially private homes. Private homes are a lot of work.
Very much so.
And
Yeah,
it's
it's
a lot
not a
of
game.
dedication. It's dedication, work, and time, and it's it's very important that you are dependable and reliable for those parts. I mean, you miss out on going to Rolling Hills Asylum or Waverly's. Okay, that's one thing, but when you take on a private client, that's a whole nother ball game. And
yeah, I mean, we're working with 2 separate clients now, which is probably the next month and a half of our life.
Probably.
I mean, it's probably alternating weekends.
Yeah.
And trying to get things solved for both of them. So, but by no means am I complaining, because the paranormal field has given me the platform to make Pawtographs the success that it is. And I don't know how Todd feels, but the paranormal field's given me far more than I will ever be able to give it back.
Yeah, I can't complain. I mean, I met my wife because of the paranormal field.
You did.
My current one, which I actually like.
I had to remind him of that. It was it's kind of embarrassing.
Subtle, yeah.
But,
so I threw you a softball on that one, and you completely you struck out on that one.
What happened that was so great?
Yeah.
You met your wife.
I met my wife. That's right. That's a thing that happened. Is that why I wear this? Oh yeah, that's it.
Right. So you were a part of the group. You started Pawtographs after the group.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, does everybody in the group, do they help out? Do they participate with Pawtographs, or do you keep that separate?
Separate. I mean, they help if they want to, but it's not an expectation. The 2 are separate.
Yeah, it's not a requirement.
Yeah.
I think is the word. Yeah.
There are quite a few.
I would be so if I would be so obsessed with this whole thing. Like I would be overboard. You guys would be trying to get rid of me.
I'm not disagreeing.
This is like the best. Like I actually am coming in March. Kevin, thank you. I am coming in March, and I can't wait. I mean, I am so looking forward to it. It's all of my favorite things wrapped up into one, including you, Tim.
Yeah. Aw.
No.
And it's also your birthday weekend, I think.
Yes.
So that's going to be.
So drinks will be had.
Yeah.
So this is how much I love Tim. Usually, for every year for this, I don't even know how many. I go to Gettysburg and I have my birthday bar crawl that whole weekend. I go and I have a birthday bar crawl, and either I have one person join me or I have 7 people joining me, but I always have fun. I'm actually postponing that so that I can come. But I do celebrate my birthday all month long, so we will be celebrating my birthday.
I try to avoid my birthday and pretend it doesn't exist.
I usually work on mine, so exciting. Maybe I should do the whole month. That sounds like the way to go.
But I absolutely love this. Anybody knows me, I'm 1 letter short of PETA. I say it all the time on PET. So I'm all about animals. Anything that I can. I mean, like, I save flies, for crying out loud. Like, I can't, I just love, but I love animals, dogs, and I love Murray. When I see your videos and I see pictures, it's almost like I feel like I knew him. But I think that's like just because he resonates so much through you. And I feel like it's the same thing. Like, I get it a lot, like with people that never met my dad. They'll say, I feel like I knew your dad just because of you, because of how much you talk about him, and how you keep his memory alive, and you keep his his legacy going. So I feel like so many people feel that way.
Well, that was the goal when I started Pawtographs. Was I wanted people to understand just how special he was and what he did for me, and we wanted to create a legacy. So the fact that people talk about him to this day, and they see pictures of him, and they feel connected to him, that's the goal. I mean, I want him to live on forever, or at least until I'm gone. My hope is that if I ever am gone all of a sudden, that somebody will take the reins and they'll run one more event, and me and the boy can come and enjoy it together. But it's it's a labor of love. It's a passion, and going from not having any expectations to all of a sudden here we are, and we passed $100,000. It's surreal.
So amazing. So amazing. So I had also, I really, maybe I reached out to Tito's at one point. Tim hates me because I always bring up Tito's, but I did reach out to Tito's because the owner of Tito's, the guy that made Tito's, is a huge, just like Tim, huge, animal, like he does all kinds of animal activist work and charities and this and that. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So I wrote to them and earlier in the year and they said, okay, send us this. Well, this is like all kinds of like information that one, I shouldn't have. And two, I felt like, should go to Tim because it was more of like on the legal financial side of things and this and that. And I said, okay. And I said, I'm going to forward this email to my friend because I didn't say it was me, I said it was my friend. So, and Tim waited. So now we don't know, but maybe if I email them, maybe I'll say.
Well, I waited until we actually had a set plan and an event to tell them
which
about.
I get. I understand.
Yeah. You were like, hey, let's tell them we're doing something. And I'm like, well, they're going to want details. So let's wait until we have something firmed up.
No, I mean, you had a plan.
We did, but it's better if you could show them a picture and go, hey, look at that picture.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that starts our year next year, 2023, March 4th. Pawtographs Parafest 4. Never thought in my wildest dreams we'd have John Zaffis at an event.
Very cool.
Been friends with John for, a decade now. And just never thought of asking because I didn't think he'd be interested. And then I did, and he's like, of course. So, folks like that. We worked with Shane Pittman in September.
Such a good guy.
He's so awesome. I love Shane.
Excellent human being.
Yeah, he really is.
And here's a plug for Shane. Tonight at midnight Eastern, 28 Days Haunted debuts on Netflix. That's a new series that Shane's involved with. So, good dude. And he's also signed on for another event that we're doing in Wisconsin next year in March. So, just I sound like a broken record when I do these interviews, but I'm just really fortunate that I have the friends and the network of people that I do within the paranormal field that have gotten behind what we do.
Yeah.
And have supported us. There's Dustin Perry. I can't not say Dustin's name. There's a lot of great people that have helped us along the way here. So it's, I told you I was going to let you talk, and then here I am just blah, 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 blah.
I was going to say the exact same thing, so it didn't even matter.
But Todd, you're real active with photographs, though. What's your role within photographs and stuff like that?
I just help when I can. Literally, any running we got to do. If we're missing something, I'm basically a gopher. If Tim's so stressed out, especially during the day, he gets just a wee bit stressed out on the day, trying to make sure everything runs smoothly because that's a word. Maybe I'm just thirsty. I don't know. Just making sure everything goes smooth, and anything that just ease up the burden, I guess, a little bit, or like future events. Him and I'll just kind of brainstorm like places you want to go, people we want to bring in, lineups, like who do we want where, what works best, just things like that.
We do local events together. Like he'll travel to Illinois, to Michigan. We do Wisconsin events. I went out to Hinsdale House in July, and it doesn't make sense for him to go all the way out there. We do local events together. If you go to a local event, you're going to get more humor from us than you are crying and sadness.
You'll still get that.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
I mean, I went to Missouri a few weeks ago and did my like original Pawtographs lecture, like where I started from my dad's accident on.
That's a real fun.
God, we could have got a sponsorship from Kleenex that day. But so I mean, we kind of we adapt to the surroundings that we have, and we can do humor. And then, like I said earlier, this guy just cried like a baby up there with me. So I mean, he's got range, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. We like to play the whole dynamic. And as Mr. Kevin here has stated, I also we sell hugs.
Yes.
For the animals.
Oh, okay. Wasn't sure. He also said something earlier. He's going to miss out on it, but he said that you have you do macho. Wait,
a Macho Man impression.
Oh God.
Yeah, the Macho Man impression.
I need a couple of beers before I do that.
Macho Man impression.
Yeah. Maybe in March, Kevin.
Yeah,
maybe in March.
There we go. It will happen.
Yeah. But yeah, you did hugs at Michigan Paracon in August, and this lady was all about that hug.
I don't know if we can get into that story.
It gets a little R-rated.
It's a little. It was a little spicy.
Yeah, she was
really.
I feel like I made her year.
Yeah, the exact words were, "I haven't hugged a man in so long," and then it got weird.
They came back the next day
for more,
and she got another one.
Yeah, and then I threw a 5 at him, and I'm like, "Give her a good one."
Give her a good one. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the stories. Never mind. I'm not getting into that.
I mean, we get a chance to go around and do what we do, and like every event, we make the best of it. You know, we do what we can as far as raising money, but you know, it all ties back into the love of the paranormal, because that networking, you know, those folks now that are our friends and they trust us and they understand where we come from. If I call those folks and we're in the middle of a case, they'll answer the phone, they'll help. So, I mean, it all comes full circle, and we're just, you know, I feel like I'm #blessed.
But he is. Yeah, he is.
We broke Tara.
Good. That's yeah.
Wait. But I do think that there's commonalities, though, with paranormal people. I feel like, you know, there's not just like all the mental stuff, because we all have mental issues. We all have mental stuff, you know, either anxiety, you know, insomnia, depression, like ADD, OCD. We all have some kind of little twerk, you know, yeah. But there's also a love for animals in this field as well. Like everybody that I know in the paranormal field is huge animal lovers as well, you know. So I feel like it's such a different type of way for me, somebody that doesn't put on an event, I attend them, you know. And no matter what, I mean, my best friend makes cups, I still buy them from her to support her. You know what I mean? Like I never expect anything for free or anything like that. Like I do this because I want to be a part of that history or be a part of, you know, what the cause is for no matter what, you know, and even if it's just, you know, money going towards the preservation of a location, you know, I'm a part of that location's history now, you know, because I'm, you know, trying to give back. So to be a part of something, so I am such a huge animal lover, to be a part of something so both to combine both of those it's a little it's overwhelming in a good way. You know, it's almost like one of the best things I've ever heard of. And I can't even remember who even told me about you, but it
was James
Anito.
Yeah, that's how we met. Yeah,
Okay.
so this is all James's fault.
Son of a.
Oh my God. Wow.
You said you don't run your own events. I would never recommend it.
It's horrible.
What did I tell you this year? I'm like, I'm not running as many events next year.
Yeah,
and then now I'm
immediately filled up the year.
I'm signed up to run 5 of my own now. And okay, we're gonna let Todd talk. What kind of person is Tim in the weeks leading up to an event?
Oh, he's miserable SOB. Just miserable.
I just want everything to be so perfect.
Yeah.
You know, and I am a control freak. I'm not organized, but I want everything to go well.
Yeah.
So it's like an oxymoron. Is that right? Did I use that right? I probably did.
You just surround yourself with people that know how to organize.
I mean, we should probably, I should probably mention Michelle Nason.
Yeah, we were gonna get in there at
because
some point.
she goes to the local events, makes all these wonderful baskets, raises thousands of dollars for Pawtographs.
Tipsy's treasures.
Yeah, I believe you've got some bears from her.
Oh yes, she made. My God, I would say she made about 27 bears and about 12 pillows. I gave her all of my father's uniforms that have been hanging up in a closets for 22 years, just hanging up in closets. And she made, my family got that and they were just like crying. They were the best. I put pictures up on Facebook and everything, but it was amazing. It was a long wait, but it was a big order and it was a lot. I mean, she really put her heart into it. I mean, and she did amazing. And every time somebody asks about stuff like that, that's who I tell them to go to. I'm like, you have to, this is who you need to go see. But yeah.
She's well, you've known her forever.
I know, 30 years, for a little while.
And I when after we started the paranormal team, I got to know Michelle. She's a tiny little lady with a giant heart.
Yeah,
huge heart. And she's amazing.
Yeah, she's wonderful. And one of the things that I don't get to mention enough is that we did what Michelle did for me and Murray. I had mentioned because Murray was having trouble getting around and walking. I wanted to find a red wagon for Murray so I could take him on walks. And Michelle found me a red wagon, and it's still sitting as a shrine in my house with his blanket and everything. And I got to do something with that someday. But she made that, and he was so proud of that thing. Like he would stand up and he would just. It was like he was being led around and he just was looking at his peasants.
Yes. You know what, though? He deserved every second. Every second.
He's probably going to get pissed at me for saying was.
Yeah.
He still is the reason that I fight on. I mean, the part I didn't talk about because it's an instant cry is the fact that, my dad passed when I was really young, and I always, my dad was the spirit that I dealt with here first. Mm-hmm. And, he's still here and he's got my boy now. But leading up to Murray passing away, I kept telling Murray, I'm like, you got to find Grandpa. Like there's going to come a time when I'm not going to be around and you're going to have to find Grandpa and you're going to have to let me know you're okay. Otherwise, I'm coming to find you.
Right.
And the day he passed, it was a horrible, horrible day. And Todd and Michelle and Jimmy and my mom and my stepdad Dave were here like within minutes.
Yeah.
And it was just a rough day, a rough night. And I woke up that next morning for work. The alarm went off at 3:30 in the morning, and I was stubborn. I'm like, I'm going to work because what am I going to do? Sit home and cry, or am I going to go to work and make money and cry? And I checked my phone, and I had 5 messages from mediums. And every message started with, Murray needs his dad to know he's okay. It's very important. Mm. And, little dude kept his end of the bargain. So here I am going around the country and, crying for people. And, I did an event in Missouri, and I talked about how I went from the beginning. And afterwards, there were a few people that wanted to give me hugs. And there was a teenage girl that was at a vendor booth all day, and she came up to me just sobbing because she related to the story. And I mean, that's why I keep doing this.
Yeah.
You have a chance to, we're saving a lot of animals, and I'm proud of that. We're helping a lot of people too. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty incredible. And the teenager or the young Tim would love to go back and like kind of point his finger in the face of all of his teachers that told him he wouldn't amount to shit. Because I think we've done pretty well. And I think between the two of us, we make people feel every feeling that they ever felt in their life. And we're going to keep doing it until until they tell us we can't anymore and they get sick of us. But
they're just over it.
Yeah, until one day they're like, you know what, this doesn't work for us anymore. We hate dogs.
Yeah, no, that will not. But see, and that's the other thing. The other thing, and I'm glad that you brought it up, but it's not just paranormal. It's not just, animal shelters, but there's so many people out there. And I had said in the beginning, we have commonalities, and some of that is mental, and when I say mental, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I mean, that's just, the medical, I'm in the medical field, that's just the term for it. But, there's a lot of people out there that have thought about suicide, know somebody that's committed suicide, maybe even attempted suicide. So to hear your story on that end of it as well, also you're helping people,
Yeah. Life has a chance to be beautiful. I mean, I didn't think that in 2007, and here I am now, and I'd be lying to you if I told you every day was fantastic.
Right. No, yeah.
There are days when I still have to fight through. I got asked this question last week when I was doing an interview by myself. Do you and Todd ever talk about, what you go through, what you went through? I think the answer is no.
Not really. No.
No, I think it's just understood that if I ever needed to, I could.
Oh yeah.
But it's just not like we've never. I'm comfortable talking to a group of people, and I talk one-on-one, and it gets weird for me. So, it becomes more real, I guess. But
well,
I mean, I talk about feelings with him all the time, and
sometimes too much.
Yeah, but we've never, I've never gone into that night and really, the first time my mother heard about it was when she read the book. I mean, that was probably a shitty thing for me to do, but she had no idea. I mean, literally nobody knew. There was no social media, so for me, so there was no, I wasn't crying for help. I wasn't calling out for help. I don't mean it to sound like a bad thing. It's just like sometimes people reach out and they're looking for somebody to talk to. I didn't have that. And even afterwards, it kind of just
or maybe you felt like you didn't have that, right? I mean, you felt that way. I mean, because your mom.
Yeah, I hear on the honest truth. Back then, I didn't have the kind of friends that I felt comfortable talking to about that sort of stuff. So it wasn't something like if it happened to me today, I'd give this a guy a call and he'd be here in 20 minutes. Right. I know it would be. But back then, I just didn't have those kind of people in my life. And now I'm surrounded by them, and when Murray did pass, I mean, my God, there were so many people that were grieving with me. It almost got to the point, and I hope I don't anger anybody, but it almost got to the point where, everybody was very sad about it and everybody was hurt. But at the end of the day, that was my boy, Nobody hurt more than I did. And, but the outpouring of love, I mean, it was absolutely incredible. And, he continues to touch people now.
You ever feel him around?
Yeah, I do. And I talk to him constantly. I joke with him all the time. I'm like, I know you sent me Ray, you son of a bitch. And she's a fantastic dog, but I think Todd would agree. Murray was top 1% of intelligence for dogs.
Very smart boy.
I mean, he was just like that. I mean, and Ray is not.
Polar opposite.
I love her to death, but I just, I get the feeling sometimes that Murray's just sitting in the corner laughing his ass off. Like, I did that.
She's pretty. She's pretty.
Yeah, she is. She's pretty.
She's very pretty.
Yeah, that's what she's got going for her.
Yep.
But no, but Ray and now I have Daisy. They're both great. For 3 years I had Molly. And a lot of times I don't talk about Molly, and that sucks. But
she was the sweetest.
Molly was incredible. I got her at an event in Michigan, the shelter that we helped. They said, "Hey, you can take her home."
Yeah.
And I brought Molly home, and she was Murray's best friend for a year until he passed. And then she taught Ray everything she knows, which, you know, by what I just said, wasn't much.
Yeah.
But no, Molly was a sweetheart. She absolutely was.
She tried.
Yeah. And Molly's probably thinking, hey, look what I had to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. She probably gave up. But you know what though? I have 6 fur babies, and I'm now down to 4. But I did have 6, and Zeus, though he passed away in November. He was my fur baby soulmate. You just have those fur baby soulmates, and I love all of my babies. Like I would literally die saving their lives. You know, like they're my babies. But me and Zeus were on a different level. And I'm not saying I loved him more than, it was just a different connection. It was it, you know, so I know you said I never talk about Molly or whatever, you know, it's just that you and Murray it was a different connection.
There was like I don't know how to say it without sounding like stupid, but it was of course it was unspoken because Murray couldn't speak.
Right.
But it was just this unspoken bond where I just had to give him a look, and he knew exactly. Like he just knew.
Yeah.
And they just like, if you ever see pictures of him, you can look into his eyes and you can see his heart.
Yeah.
And everything that he went through as a puppy up until 6 months old, he should have hated people.
Right.
And he absolutely loved them. I've got a photo of him from the last event that he ever attended where he's getting a standing ovation. And the smile on his face is wonderful. And if I could find somebody that's good at Photoshop and they could take my ex-wife out of that photo, I would get it framed.
So that's easy. You just have to put it up on you just blot it out.
Yeah. That's a big blot. Yeah, I said it. 5 years later, I have so much hatred for her.
Oh, I know.
Okay, here's the reason. Like, since we're all friends, the night that everything fell apart, she swung and missed at Murray twice. She tried to punch him.
Twunt.
Yes. So that gives you some insight as to why I hate this woman so much.
Oh my God.
Yes. So if she happens to
You had every right to punch her back.
I would never. And I learned that about myself that night, that I will never hit a woman. But if she ever sees this and she's still wondering, what did I do? That's what she did.
Wow.
So, yeah. So I haven't really said that publicly because I was trying to take the high road. But I think after 5 years, she kind of deserves for everybody to know what kind of bitch she was.
Yeah, fuck her.
Yeah. Fuck her.
Yeah, fuck her.
Fuck her. But not literally. That wasn't fun either.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Is anybody still watching? Did we get kicked
off? Yeah, we're done.
Did we get kicked? Am I going to get banned from Facebook?
Just got canceled.
No,
that's it, we're done.
But in all seriousness, though, like that was, I mean, a switch went off. Like I was never, I was never for a moment upset about the divorce. I was never sad.
Yeah.
Like I never had any feelings. I was completely numb to it. And when it was done, I was just done. And if anybody's wondering, why is he single after 5 years? Yeah, it's going to take an act of God for me to be like, you know what? Yeah, I'd like to sign up for that again. Just going to keep going, ranting.
Do it.
I raised her daughter for 6 years, and her daughter saw everything that happened. Oh, then I didn't mention this. After she swung at Murray, she hit me. Didn't hit her back. Her daughter saw all of it and disowned me. Yeah. So,
first of all, why was she going after Murray?
Because he jumped up on the bed. I don't know what was going on in her head, but anyway, we should probably stop with this line. Because I'm going to lose
all my babies sleep in bed with me.
Yeah. He always did too. For some reason, she got angry and like she swung at him once, and I grabbed him and pulled him off the bed. And then he jumped back up because that was his normal routine. And she tried to do it again. And then I leaned over her and I was like, what the hell is the problem? And she got me right here. But luckily, she hits like a girl. So,
Wow, weird.
But yeah, So I realized in that moment that I could never hit a woman, which is, I don't think that's something to be proud of, because I think it's just something that should be.
Well, listen,
yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now. If any woman ever hits any of my babies, I'm hitting that bitch back.
well, I'll hire you. I mean,
yeah,
you can come to Wisconsin, we'll hunt her down.
I'll help you.
Yeah,
We'll point her out. That's good.
Just go hit that.
Hit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't hit that though. This has gone so far off the rails.
Can we just chop
we digressed. We digressed. It's real back in.
You got me into.
Oh, somebody's willing to help me. Anyway, now you have 2 people.
All right.
Yeah, Penny stepping up. Right.
Way to go, Penny. I love the name Penny, mostly because of Big Bang Theory. Might be the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Happy Halloween, Tim.
Yeah. See, we don't have to like the same things.
That's true.
Yeah. And when I say I don't like Halloween, I'm not taking away from your fun. You can love Halloween. Everybody else can love Halloween. Just don't come to my house.
Right. And when I go trick-or-treating, you can watch Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. I'll probably watch football.
It'll be sports. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of football. Hey,
let's not talk about football.
It's a big Packers Commanders weekend coming up.
First of all, it's the Washington Redskins. Okay, I don't know who you're talking about.
Big Packers Commanders weekend.
I mean, I don't even want to talk about it.
She's a Washington Commanders fan.
Oh, is that what they're called?
Redskins. Okay, and I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it because, first of all, why Wentz? I have no idea. That makes me the most. When they got Wentz, I was like, what are they all smoking and drinking and doing cocaine? And what are they thinking? And they continue. Thank God he's hurt. I'm happy he's hurt. I'm not happy he's hurt, but I'm happy that he's not playing.
She didn't want to talk about it though.
I don't want to talk about it though. Talk about it. The worst. It is the worst.
Fired up. This is great.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my entire room has nothing but Redskins stuff everywhere. My entire closet is Redskins jerseys and shirts, and
I'm gonna go to NFLshop.com and I'm gonna get you the most gaudy looking Commanders jersey and send it to you.
You know, I have not bought one thing. Look on my wall. Here's a hat signed by Sean Taylor. I have football signed by Joe Theismann. Like I am his Redskins. Die hard Redskins. I won't own a Commander shit. Nothing.
I'm going to send you another Pawtographs sweatshirt, and in there I'm going to put a Commanders t-shirt.
I'll be so mad at you.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
You'd be like, oh, this is sweet of him. Oh, that son of a bitch.
You better get the size right.
I will. I'm just going to play it cool and go with small.
That's good.
Yeah. She's a tiny woman.
Well, wait, you talking about the sweatshirt? Sweatshirt maybe on my leg, because I like that little room. My tatas need room.
You just did that?
I did.
Oh God.
No, I went like this.
Okay, because I'm going to record this and go back and watch it over and over and over.
When I was younger, so in high school, I can't believe I'm going to actually say this. I've never talked.
I'm looking forward to it.
So I had nicknames in high school. BTT, Triple T. So BTT, so for Big Titty Taryn, in case you guys want to know. Triple T was Titanic Titty Taryn. I had different guy groups of friends that would call me different. I had nicknames all over. This was high school. So my thing when I would take pictures, I'd be like, I would grab them and take a picture. But I don't do that anymore. What are you doing?
I don't think I should comment.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I think I probably lost everybody.
I don't even know why. Why did I start telling them? Oh, because you thought I did this. That's right.
I thought you were. Yeah, I thought you were like. Yeah. So paranormal. Yeah.
You thought I was what?
It's been a long day, Taryn.
It has, and you guys have to go. You have to go.
Yeah.
Right? Don't you have a?
That ship has sailed. They've rescheduled.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that because of this?
Who knows? Probably.
It happens.
How bad does that make you feel?
I feel bad.
Yeah.
Why? Are you happy? It makes me feel bad.
No,
that's what it sounded like.
Every thought in my mind is just going to get me in trouble, and I'm trying. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Is Darren still in here?
Who?
Darren.
No, I'm not sure actually.
No.
It doesn't tell me who. It just tells me how many.
Oh.
I think he is because he wasn't. He was just here. What time is it? Wait. That was 9:05 was his last. I don't know. He might be sleeping.
Yeah.
He goes to work so early. I can't believe you two knew each other. Like for the longest time, I get Darren. He starts streaming on Paranormal Brew and all this stuff. And like, I don't know. I've had Tim on. I go on Darren's show. I talk about Pawtographs or Pooches all the time. Not either of them ever said, yeah, we know each other. We went out for dinner and we hung out and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I found this out when you were on Darren's show?
Well, we went out for dinner one time and then he never talked to me again. So I thought he had broken up with me.
That's right.
Yeah, that was enough, huh?
Yeah,
just a one and done.
Yeah, he was like, well, fuck that guy. Don't want anything to do with him.
I don't know.
Yeah, he lives like 15 minutes away from my Pawtographs event, and he didn't go.
Well, he better go to the one in March.
He's not gonna.
Well, yeah, he better.
He's not gonna.
He'll go. I'll tell him. I'll make him. He said, "Hello, hey guys." He's all about you.
I like Darren. I just think he's over me.
No, I don't think so.
I get that.
Yeah, I'm a lot.
Tim's got a big personality.
Yeah,
that's the nicest way we can put that.
I learned that because I was like, I don't think Jimmy likes me, and then Todd's like, Jimmy doesn't like people with big personalities, and you're the biggest one I've ever seen. And Jimmy tolerates you.
He does.
Yeah. Jimmy tolerates me.
I'd say he actually likes you now.
Yeah, I really like Jimmy.
I think you guys are pretty close now.
Yeah. Like I love Jimmy. He's like a brother. Yeah. If somebody was hurting Jimmy, I'd rip their arm off.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd probably go for the other one. So yeah.
I told the guy at bowling last night that if he yelled out again, that I was just going to swing. Two out of three times when I let the ball go, he screamed as I let it go. And the second time I turned around, I'm like, next time you do it, I'm just swinging. And then
was he doing it like intentionally for you? Or
I don't know, but it was
obnoxious?
A coincidence. Okay. And I remember Don looking at me and goes, keep it together, Tim. Hey, keep it together. Yeah. I got to the age now where I'm old enough that I'm in a bowling league. And I want to thank you for moving to Thursday because you accommodated my bowling league.
Yeah, I was a little upset at first. I said, "Great, we've had this date for how long?" And when you signed up for bowling, you didn't even stop and think for 1 second. I'm kidding.
Selfish.
I
know.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I work around my guests anyway. I always say that. So
I'm like Fred Flintstone now, with my bowling obsession.
Oh
yeah.
I bowl like. I throw the ball like Peggy Bundy. It's really funny.
I know exactly how that looks.
You know,
I can't picture it.
It's a lot like Chris Williams while she bowled.
Oh yeah. Wow,
Very
talking shit about Chris Williams.
I seen her bowl.
Yeah, she was not good.
That's one of the only things I know about her.
Yeah, not a good bowler.
I'm like good. And when I say good, I mean for me in my eyes, I'm good the first game, and then after that, forget it.
Yeah,
You don't know what sport I'm playing. You're like, what is happening here?
First of all, bowling is not a sport.
It
is an activity. It's an activity.
It's kind of a sport.
Anything that you can get better at as you drink is not a sport. And that also includes golf.
Yeah,
and I don't care if the PGA Tour wants to fight me on that.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. The best thing about golf is driving the golf cart. That is the best.
I don't know. Tim doesn't let me drive.
I love whipping those little things around.
I don't care. I really don't.
Well, yeah, I almost killed this one.
I just wanted to put you on the spot. That's all.
Yeah, I almost killed this one.
Oh, it was so much fun.
It was a wet day.
It was a wet day and a steep hill. We started going into 360. I grabbed on the side. Tim bailed.
I jumped. I thought we were flipping.
Rolling.
I thought we were flipping, so I bailed.
And he belly flopped and slid down the hill.
Yeah, I was soaked because the ground was moist.
Were you driving? Were you driving or was
He was driving. I just held on and just spun.
I look up and Todd's at the mercy of whatever is in control. And we broke Karen again.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, he gets up off the ground and he's just soaked.
Yeah, I had khaki shorts on and it looked like I had pissed myself.
How did you?
That was another thing.
How did you get control of the golf cart?
It just stopped on its own. But we've also done 2 golf scrambles.
We have, Pawtographs golf scrambles.
Yeah, Murray's got his own golf tournament.
Yeah, he's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, he is. He's the first one that we did. I made it through the entire day without getting emotional, and I sunk the putt on our last hole, and I just lost it.
Yeah,
because how amazing is this that my boy's got his own golf tournament?
He's just, I tell you, I look at his face and I feel like I know him.
Hey, for anybody that's here, I have breaking news.
Oh, yes.
I have an announcement.
Yeah.
I am now working on my book. It's going to be a life story of Murray. But I've changed it up, and I have asked for the help of my very good friend April Rohn, fantastic medium. It's basically, the book is going to be a conversation between Murray and I, and awesome. And April is going to be voicing Murray.
And I'm not going to be able to read it.
So it's basically going to be beginning to end conversation.
Probably.
And I think it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing.
So I'm looking forward to it. It's one of those things where it's about to get cold here in Wisconsin, and I don't go outside. So
I'm with you on that one.
I'm just going to work on that book. Perfect. And we'll get it done by March, hopefully. And then we can all cry together. It's not.
I'm going to cry my ass out reading it.
Yeah. But I've been trying to write that book, honestly, for like 2 years. And I just couldn't. I would get a few pages into it and I just had to stop.
Yeah.
And I finally got a hold of April and I'm like, what do you think of this idea? She's like, I love it. We can work with that. So it's going to be a conversation between him and I, and talking about, and I'm actually kind of afraid for the first part of the book, because I asked April to kind of go into what he experienced before me. Because I want that in his words.
Okay.
And if she's able to do that, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing.
Is she an animal medium psychic?
She sends me messages from him constantly. He loves to talk to that woman. So I don't think there'll be any issues with her communicating with him.
Well, you know what though, when it's on a different level, not everybody is ever going to experience something like that, a bond like that with a different species. Like, and I want to say non-human, but like to me, they're my kids. So to me, they feel that way. But you know, not everyone is going to get a chance to ever feel that. You know, so it's hard to make people understand. You know, those feel like, you know, people say it, but it's hard to make people feel or make them understand that bond that you have. I don't know where I was going with that, because I was going to say, because you had said something about, oh, that's what I say. So having that bond with him, that kind of bond, to me, the distance, no matter who, what color, race, creature, whatever, you have that bond, it's not broken. So I feel like when you have that bond, it's easier for them to come through as a human to a human, you know, because that was that bond that you had. Like, you understood each other without even, and I know when you say, when you looked into his eyes and you just knew, like, it was the same thing with Zeus. Like, we would just look, I just knew, you know, and he knew, you know, and so I get it. So I think that's going to be awesome. And I think that's awesome that she can help with that part of it. I do think that's going to be a hard thing to hear and read, for sure.
We're going to have to get the pages laminated, I think.
I think so. I think you should. That's a good idea.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough one to write.
I'm going to tell you something, though. The second that you said the plastic bag thing, that has not stopped in my head.
What's that?
The plastic bag thing you said he was afraid of plastic bags.
Yeah, terrified of him.
Because I kind of have a feeling why, and I just, to me, it's just horrible.
Yeah, it was that indoors and loud noises. Whoever had him tried to tear his tail off. He could never wag his tail. If he got real excited, you would see it like twitch back and forth a little bit. So that's when you knew he was happy. But for a dog that shouldn't have been happy, he was the happiest dog I've ever met in my life. And also half pit bull. So
right,
for the folks out there that are like, hey, they're mean and nasty creatures.
They're not.
No,
they're baby.
I had 3 Lhasa Apsos growing up that were the meanest 3 dogs I've ever been around in my life. The only thing is that, you know, they each weighed like 15 pounds. So even when they got mad at you, they couldn't do anything to you.
Right.
But yeah.
But no, you're right. Pit bulls. I mean, my brother rescued 3 pit bulls, and one was Mikey. And Mikey had to be rehabbed a little bit because, you know, they had wired his muzzle. They'd wired his muzzle shot closed, used him as bait to teach pit bulls how to fight, just to teach other ones how to fight. And I don't know how he made it out, but he made it out. He had like a scar around his muzzle, but he was the cutest thing. I have this picture of me and him, and I have him like this, and his paws are up, and he's kissing me, but he's kissing me in a way, his tongue's out. It literally looks like we're French kissing. The picture. We were not, but he was the sweetest thing in the world. But
we were not.
We're not.
So can I make you laugh one more time?
Yes.
So I got this in the mail.
This
in the mail the other day. It's from Duluth Trading Company.
Yeah.
And it was addressed to me from Maris, which is Tim Woolworth's dog.
Oh.
And Tim had sent me through Maris a shit kit.
Oh.
To put into my car should I ever have to go poop on the side of the road. So that's what my friends think of me.
A couple years too late.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a time driving to Michigan where I stopped like 7 times, and then finally I had to stop like emergency, and it's the only time in my life I've ever pooped in the woods, and I didn't get it all clean.
You don't have to worry.
Yeah,
all right there.
Now it didn't dawn on me to take my sock off and wipe my ass.
I brought that up once you got back in the car. I'm like, so you missing your socks now? He's like, oh no. I just leaves.
I use wet leaves.
Wet leaves.
You know, Tim, I have to commend you for your, coming out and telling everybody the story. And there's probably more people that have had to do this than admit.
Yeah, go get your shit kit.
Actually, really, I have a shiwi. I have a shiwi. What's the difference?
The difference is you probably look a lot better using that than I do using the shit kit. I just said it. She's prettier than I am.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's why.
I can't. My cheeks hurt. I can't. I want to thank you guys. Can you please, Tim, really quick, like those things you're doing, even local, like whatever's coming up for you guys for Pawtographs.
Oh, well, it could take a while.
That's awesome.
Yeah, next March 4th, we are in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yep.
Go Blue. We're in Ann Arbor, Michigan for Pawtographs Parafest 4, headlined by John Zaffis, Dustin Perry, Dan Class. That poster's packed, and Taryn Kerper.
I mean,
Taryn Kerper is going to be there all weekend doing interviews with Paranormal Brew. And then March 18th, we're going to be in Penbine, Wisconsin for another Pawtographs event. And that one is going to be headlined by Shane Pittman, Scott Tepperman, and I'm working on somebody's name who rhymes with Baggers. I can't say it because I don't have them signed down yet. And
Baggers.
Yeah. Darren Baggers.
Do I know this person?
You should, yeah. I don't know. I don't think Aaron will get too pissed off. I've contacted Aaron to be a part of the event. Anyway.
See, I say Staggers. It's the accent. It's like
So, we got that one on April 29th. I am in Michigan for Little Traverse Bay Parafest. So Michigan's going to get sick of me. I'm working on something in May or June out in Pennsylvania. Just throwing that out there.
In Pennsylvania?
Yeah. I'm working on something in May or June for Indiana. I'm also going to be at Michigan Paracon again next year. Both of us will be. September, I've got 2 events. I've got the Pawtographs event in Ripon, and I've got the Pawtographs event, or I got an event, Fort Wayne Paracon in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And then I don't know what October, we've got a couple of things locally because we're working with Four Seasons Island Resort in Penbine, Wisconsin. Yep. And then I'm hoping next November I'm at Old Mill Parafest because usually I'm there every other year. So next year is a very stacked and packed year for me.
That is so great. I'm so happy to hear it. The Pennsylvania thing, you better communicate all of that. The Pennsylvania is it's very close.
Yes, so close. But so like I said earlier, going to be running about 5 events, 4 Pawtographs. And probably going to be a shithead, like the weeks leading up to those.
That's like that sounds like the entire year, Todd. You need to go to your doctor, get some Xanax, some Zen something, because for the entire year, Tim's going to be pissed off. He's going to be more pissed off than not because the events are only a day or 2, maybe a weekend, but the rest of the time he's just going to be pissed off.
I told him, like I said earlier, I'm not going to do as much next year. And then life had other ideas, and
then Murray was like, I think so.
I'm now working with Kathy Hahn. She's my manager, my representative, and she's doing fantastic. And the best part is I haven't had to pay her anything. The last lady I had to pay a bunch of money, did nothing for me. So she's taking a lot of the stress off my plate, which is going to be helpful because that's a lot of why I turn into I'm like Bridezilla the week of a Pawtographs event. Only without the white dress. Most times.
Easy fix.
Yeah.
And Todd's gonna be along the way the whole time.
He's gonna be there at a few. We gotta figure out we gotta figure out which ones he's gonna be at. But it looks like it's gonna be a big year. And I had an offer to go up to Arizona for an event.
Nice.
I've never been out to Arizona though, and
Arizona's awesome.
well, I
Arizona
have no
is
doubt it is. But the fun part about Pawtographs is they really only succeed if people in the area know who I am or know the people that I'm working with, and I don't have that out there.
I can hook you up with the Arizona treasure hunter.
I tried to do an event in Tampa 5 years ago, and absolutely bombed. So, but nobody knew me there, so it was. Yeah, so I mean, I got to pick and choose my places, and also I got to understand that there has to be time for other things. Like, I do enjoy things outside of the paranormal and Pawtographs.
Yeah,
and I like to have time to do those too. But
and you have to work.
Yeah, well,
take it or leave it.
Yeah, I mean, somebody that comes to me tomorrow and says, "Hey, Tim, we would like you for this project," I would say,
"Well,
okay.
Yeah, that's different." But if that doesn't happen. I mean, luckily you have a job that is real, that works with you though too. I mean, they're cool with you.
They just give me vacation and I use it. Yeah, they're not bending over backwards to accommodate me. They're like, okay, use your vacation.
No, they have though. You've said that in the past that that they were accommodating with stuff.
Well, they are, because I can use day at a time vacation, which means there was about 3 months there where I didn't work a Friday. So when I had to work a whole week this week, it was very difficult.
I feel you on that one.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. Why am I here 5 days?
I have off for the first Friday in a while, so now I'm excited because I remember having off on Fridays, and I was like, "Oh my god, it was so awesome!" So tomorrow is my first day off, and guess what I'm going to do? Sleep all day.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
All day.
My favorite thing to do.
I'm going to snuggle in bed with my fur babies and just sleep all day. I haven't done that in a really long time.
All right.
I say that now, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But I want to say that I love you. And I think you're amazing.
Are you going to say it back, Todd?
I'm talking to you.
Oh.
You too, Todd. You both together are amazing. You guys are so funny. Back up.
Are you going to say it back? I
was waiting for that.
I also love you.
And I think you're great. And I think you're awesome. And I think you should do the Arizona thing. I know somebody out there that's, I mean, he is a treasure hunter, but he also does ghost stuff. So he has a huge following. He was on a show with Rod. Who was the guy who was in Hangover? I always forget his name. In Your Face. That Rob Riggins. Rob Riggins.
Rob Riggles?
Rob Riggles. He was on a show with him. I'm very good friends with him. So if you want to even entertain the idea that maybe he can help, with all that, because he does the ghosty stuff too. Not just he's like a legit. He was survived in the desert for 58 days.
I was going to say, let's schedule it for July so we can all die of heat exhaustion.
No, you won't. Not with him. He knows how to survive. He's a survivalist. He's an anthropologist. He's a treasure hunter. All kinds of shit. So he's cool, and he's got a big following out there. So let me know.
Let me know.
You let me know. You got to decide if you want to do it.
You said some very nice things about me, and I also think that you are great.
I love you though. You're so awesome.
The last time I professed my love for you, I got hate messages though.
From who?
Everybody else that I apparently am supposed to be loving. So yeah.
Well, I'm number one, so that's fine. They can be hate. They can hate.
Okay. Well, you heard it here on the Paranormal Brew.
As long as you're getting all the hate mail, it's fine. We love each other. They can hate you.
Yeah. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
This has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on. You guys are awesome.
Thanks.
And I look forward to March. It's not really that far away.
It isn't. It's going to be here before you know it, which means we should really start selling tickets.
And I'm already going to be a year older by the time I see you.
I will not be. So
I will.
I can't relate to that. I'm going to be this spring chicken still.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be old. March 2nd is my birthday. So That's
I want to know why the gray hair is only here.
That's kind of like tough looking if you think about it.
Yeah. Well, something's got to look tough on me.
It's the same way Jack Black's comes in.
Oh, yeah?
Just like gray out here, yeah.
Yeah.
I've just gone all in.
Yeah, you can't tell, but he has a goatee. It comes up as white. Yeah.
Whatever.
I know, I see it.
Yeah.
Chicks dig the salt and pepper and the salt.
Well, he's married, so don't dig on him.
She likes
Please.
it, so it's
No,
fine.
I'm just saying, girls like that stuff.
Which also works out really good for the two of us because, like, there's no competition here.
None.
Yeah, so
No.
if I'm running around like looking at ladies, I don't have to worry about him swooping in and going, "Hey, I'm better looking than Tim." Well, first of all, he's not.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't even care.
Anyway,
it's not true, but
it's not true.
It doesn't matter.
I'm prettiest.
Oh my God. You're so in trouble later, Todd, just so you know.
I know that pretty.
Yeah, she tells you you're pretty.
She does.
You're lucky you're pretty.
Yep. That's right.
Well, until then, I mean, I will be going live while I'm there for sure.
Yes.
Cool.
You will be. And you'll be begging people to send all the monies.
Send all the monies.
Yes.
Absolutely. You are all so Zhang, thank you so much. I know it's probably late there in Indonesia. You're like 12 hours ahead of us.
So then it's early.
Exaggerating. It's probably like right now, it's probably, what time is it here? 10. I know when I usually go on at like 7:30, I think she says it's like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning there. Something like that.
I've never seen a place that's 5.5 hours ahead of somebody.
What? Zhang, what time is it there? Are you making fun of me?
I am.
You
said when it's 7:30 here, it's 1 there. I'm like, I don't think that's possible.
Yes.
Work.
No, there's not a time zone that's a half.
What?
Oh.
Moving on.
Moving
on. Let's just.
I don't like getting it.
Keep the train rolling.
You know what?
I'll explain off air.
In my defense, I've had a glass of wine. So there.
All right. Yep. That's a good defense.
All right.
Happy Halloween, Tim.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
And I'll be back next week. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Let me end and get out of here. Good night.
Are we done?